before I was really doing any filming for the channel, I was working on this Midnighter custom, and I finished him months back. I'm not sure how long ago, but all I did was I threw a couple of photos up on Reddit, and people seemed to generally like it. So I don't have a documented process, but I can walk you through the steps that I used to create this. Just to mention this up front, I have the ring light turned off because it was sort of blowing out both the skin tone and the moon on his chest. So I'm just dealing with overhead light and then ambient on a overcast Chicago day. But hopefully it's good enough for you to see. So actually I will turn it on here so we can look at these legs. Alright, so the legs from the hip down are actually just Flashpoint Batman. I was originally going to use somebody else's legs. I think I was planning to use, because the top half of this that I haven't mentioned yet uses parts of Detective Comics. So I was originally planning to use Detective Comics legs, and then I was going to recarve the boots because Midnighter and Batman have different boot designs, but then Todd came out with Flashpoint, and I realized that it was pretty much perfect, so I just painted those flat black, and I think painted those black, but I think I left the boots untouched, so there's still a bit of shine there to simulate leather. The top half of this, the crotch piece here and the abdomen are both Detective Comics. The arms that you can't see at all are also Detective. The torso is Bloodshot because I wanted basically a blank chest. Bloodshot was the best. It didn't require any like digging out a bat emblem and then filling that back in. So I grabbed a couple of these when they were like 15 bucks each, and unlike Dan, I now have a couple of pairs of pants just hanging around. You might have seen these in his recent Red Hood custom. Now, one thing I had to do, and I don't think I can show this without removing the jacket, but I had to significantly carve out the gloves on his forearms because the gloves are very big, the coat is slim, and it looked super chunky and weird just putting the coat on over those gloves. So underneath of this, it's just all carved up. Looks fine with the jacket on though. The jacket, I got this on eBay. I should still have the link somewhere, but I think this was meant for a 1/12, and they were advertising it as a Punisher jacket for like Mezco, Marvel Legends, whatever. But I think this was maybe 13 bucks, and there is wire along here and here. There's nothing along the bottom, but I think this works really well. And for 13 bucks, I figured it was a nice experiment. The head is Batman Last Night on Earth, and I initially snipped off the ears and then sanded those down. I thought the leather straps were appropriate, and I got this idea from Dan. Actually, I don't remember whose head I was originally planning to use. I think I was originally planning to use Death Metal because I really like the Death Metal head. And it was Dan that came up with using the Last Night on Earth head. This is also a Last Night on Earth nightstick, I think, and I eBayed him also for like 15 bucks. So whenever possible, I get these things on sale because I don't want to pay retail for any of it, and if I'm just going to be using it for parts, then absolutely buy them as cheap as you can. So the last and hardest and most time-consuming thing is getting this paint design on his chest. I masked it off, and this is just Scotch tape. I'm surprised I still have this actually, but I think I'm planning to reuse this for Apollo. And I haven't touched Apollo in a few months, but I need to really get back to that. Alright, so I've turned the light back off so we can get a little bit better view of this, but it's really just a triangle, and then there is a separate piece on top of that that is the circle. And I used the same circle for the black as well as the white. I just shifted it over. And for that circle, this took, I think, the most work out of any of it, was I tried a bunch of different things, but what finally worked is my wife had this hole punch, and I don't know why she has it, but she has a lot of tools left over from her crafting days or from metalworking, and so she had this hole punch, which was the perfect size, and I punched out somewhere. I had it here maybe half an hour ago, but I don't know where it is now. I had some of the early attempts. The hardest part was getting the circle to be a circle. So in other words, this sort of causes the material to flex, and you don't always get a perfect circle. Let me see. Yeah. So it causes the material to flex as it's punching through, and you might not wind up with a perfect circle when you're done. I punched a circle, I taped off and painted a triangle, I punched a hole to get a circle, masked all of that off, and there was a little bit of ruggedness on some of the edges because the seal wasn't complete. So for some of the edges I just freehanded to get it straight, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. So I did mention a minute ago that I have an Apollo that's in the works, and I have a Hawksmoor also in the works. I just picked up a head for him. He was on, he's going to require more customizing than just a repaint, but I picked up a head for him recently that I think is going to work. And then I have pieces for Jenny. I don't think I have legs for her yet, but I think from the waist up, I've got parts for Jenny. So I'm working on an authority, and I'm pretty excited that Todd is coming out with a grifter, because hopefully that means he's doing more Wildstorm, and maybe I won't have to do so many customs. I mentioned this too, is I screwed up while working on this guy. I use these water-based paints, and if you've seen my dismantling video, then you know that I use generally hot water to dismantle or to reassemble my figures, and that is not a good combination. So I had painted the legs and the crotch, and then I went to reassemble it, and I screwed up everything. As soon as it got wet, it just smeared and ran, and I had to redo it, and I wound up, I don't know which one of these I used. I've used this in the past on, I used an entire can of this at one point, so I've used it on multiple figures, but this came in recently, and I might have used this on him because it's been opened, it's been used, and I don't remember who I used this on, so it might have been him while this was out of stock. But I painted the legs, I painted his entire torso black just so that the blacks matched, because this is a bit shinier than just flat black. But so I painted the whole torso, I painted abdomen, crotch, legs, I painted all of it, and then I probably use this just to finish it before reassembling, and I think it looks good. I'm happy with them. If you have any questions about this or the process, please let me know. Just drop a comment below. Check out our other videos for more customizing, kit bashes, repaints, that sort of thing, and I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.